Hu Tao, Hu Tao, Hu Tao. She's cute, lively and energetic, says things that doesn't make sense sometimes, and the best coffin dealer you can probably find in Tibet. Hu Tao is coming soon, and hooray to those who have been waiting for her. In this video, we'll talk about Hu Tao. And there are a few things I would like to discuss in this video. Number one is a few reasons why you should pull for her, and secondly are the top 5 reasons for you to consider before pulling for Hu Tao. And then finally a bonus discussion where I'll talk about whether you should go for her C1 or her weapon if you have the luxury to afford so. Now before we jump in, I would just like to say that I stream on Twitch every Wednesday and Sunday, so if you're interested, come follow me on Twitch and hang out with us. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more of my upcoming Genshin Impact content. And so without further ado, let's jump into the video. First off are the reasons to pull for Hu Tao. Now number one, which is what everybody should have guessed, is that she is a very strong DPS, notoriously known as a leeway top 3, who would crush bosses using her hellish fire. So if you're lacking a pyro DPS, she's currently one of the best options you can find. Number 2, she's super cute.
Good eye.
Oh, hey, Kuching. It's not what you seems like. You're always going to be the best waifu in Genshin Impact, okay? Come on, I'll treat you to some golden shrimp bowls in a bit.
Not bad.
And I guess she's fine now. Alright, number 3. Hu Tao is one of the easier character to build. Now, I won't cover her build in this video as it wouldn't make sense with the video. So I'll make a separate video on Hu Tao's updated build after this. Number 4. You miss her in her first banner. If you skip her in her first banner but you want her now, then you should definitely pull for her. Or if you lost 50-50 on her banner, then it's also the right time to get her. Number 5. There is Thoma on her banner, another new character, so you potentially benefit from having 2 new characters while pulling. And now we move on to some of the top 5 considerations you should watch out for if you're deciding on whether to pull for Hu Tao. Number 1 are the upcoming banners. If you're far away on pity and you haven't got too much Primo Gems to spare either, then you might want to consider the upcoming banners. There are pretty spicy banners coming after Hu Tao, like Ito with Goro and possibly Yai Miko, Xiao and Albedo's rerun. So it's up to you to whomever you want more. We don't know the remaining characters in the upcoming patch 2.3 yet, so my say would be if you're still considering Hu Tao, just wait until 2.3 banners are all announced. Number 2 are the materials required. The materials required for Hu Tao is quite complicated as she requires mats from 2 bosses. That is the Juvenile Jade from the Primordial Bishops and the Agnidas Stones from the Pyro Regis Vine. This isn't a problem if you already got enough stones or dust, but farming 2 world bosses does requires you a lot more resins. Now she also requires silk flowers, which is quite rare and not easy to farm, so you need to farm very early as well to plan ahead for her. Apart from those 2 things, she requires diligence books, nectars, and boss mat from Chai for her talent level up, which isn't really too much of a problem. And number 3, her weapon. The very good weapon choices she requires are not so easily available. The best weapon for her is Staff of Homa, as you all have known, so if you have saved enough for her weapon, then this isn't an issue for you. However, the other weapons that suits her are Skyward Spines and Primordial Jade Spear. Both are 5-star weapons as well and not very easily available to all. So the best 4-star weapon choices are Deathmatch and Blackcliff Pole. You can only get Deathmatch from Battle Pass, so it's not F2P friendly, and as per Blackcliff Pole, you can only get that from the shop if you have enough star glitter. So the 6th best weapon for her is the Dragon's Bane. This will only be very good in Vaporize when building more elemental mastery on Hu Tao and can provide more damage than Deathmatch against suitable opponents. And number 4 for her kits, she isn't very easy to use and she's a bit of a more difficult character to play with because her playstyle is pretty unique. Number one is because she's only at maximum performance if she has her HP under 50% or so. Therefore, you have to manage her HP bar and simultaneously having to dodge everything so you don't get killed easily. So she prefers to have a support with a shield. You want to be below 50% HP to maximize the damage, so you can't fully heal her. If you don't have a shield, then dodging is the only way and you might get killed easily if you don't have a shield and can't dodge properly. Number 2, she does most of the damage by her charge attack. So stamina management is a huge part on playing Hu Tao because her charge attack consumes a ton of stamina, plus you've got to manage your stamina so you have enough to dodge your opponent's attack. Number 3, best team for Hu Tao would also means having a possible sub DPS because during her E skill cooldown, she does give 12% crit rate for 8 seconds, which is very good. And then the 5th consideration is actually Ganyu. Ganyu is definitely going to be coming back really soon. Still my prediction of course, but I would say that she'll get her rerun banner pretty soon. And the reason you should consider this is because Ganyu right now is the best character in the game. While Hu Tao can only be a DPS, Ganyu can be used as a DPS, sub DPS and support. DPS Ganyu is the best DPS in the game with an extremely flexible playstyle. Whether it is single target or multi-target, she is the best. A complete missile firing goat. Sub DPS, she also is one of the best sub DPS. When your main DPS leaves the field, you can have Ganyu as a support DPS. She can easily fill that place of your main DPS as you only need to charge her attack. And she can deal a ton of damage and be an absolute best support DPS. As for support, she is an amazing cryo applier and has quite a low burst energy cost of only 60. Although most people are going to use her as DPS and sub DPS, her cryo support comes as a bonus. That being said, you can also try to get your hands on both Ganyu and Hu Tao if her banner is far away. But again, it still comes down to your decisions. And so those are the 5 things you should consider before going for Hu Tao. Now, there have been a lot of people asking whether C1 Hu Tao or Staff of Homa is the better choice. So we'll look into this now. I'll give the reasons for choosing each of the options and hopefully that will help you decide. First is why you should choose C1 over Homa. One is C1 is obviously cheaper. Homa is never guaranteed and relies on luck more, and you have a better chance at C1 Hu Tao. Once you get her C0, you have a 50% chance of getting her C1. But if you go for Homa and haven't built a decent pity on the weapon banner, then you will have around 33% chance of getting Homa. This is if you're unlucky. Now if you're even more unlucky, you may get 2 alternative weapons until you get Homa. But I hope that doesn't happen to anyone, and obviously thanks MiHoYo for finally having a pity systems on the weapon banner. And secondly, C1's completely changes her playstyle and make her more fun to use because now she focused more on charge attack and you can worry less about stamina management. And that's for C1. Now why should you go with Homa over C1 Hu Tao? Is that C1 isn't required if you're jump cancelling her charge attack. So if you're good with stamina management, you're saving yourself a lot of primo gems already. Homa is far better if you're willing to jump cancel her charge attack as it will allow you to do a lot more damage. Difference between dash cancel and jump cancel is quite minimal. So go for Homa if you can learn how to jump cancel. Number 3 is that if you can get Homa, then it can also be used on Zhongli, Rosaria, Xiao or any upcoming DPS polearm user. So it's very good for a long time investment as you may lose interest in Hu Tao for example. Once new character comes out, hopefully you don't. But if you get her C1, then other character cannot benefit from that too much. So those are my reasons on why you should go with one or the other. Hopefully all the things we've discussed in this video would help you to make a better decision on pulling for Hu Tao. Now, if you're still considering and waiting to see what character may be coming in patches after, you can check out my prediction video where we look into which character may be coming after this patch. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more of my Genshin Impact content. And with that, this is Tom wishing everyone a super day.